In 2020, like so many people, I started working from home. But unlike most people, I didn't really go back into society once lockdown ended. I found that if I needed food or groceries, I could order it online. They were having church online. I was really, really good at texting people and everything. So I stayed I stayed socially active, and I just I avoided I was able to avoid crowds, and I was able to have people around me on my terms, and I really did like the freedom that that gave me. But in the 6 years time since COVID, uh, aside from a doctor's appointment or an errand that I had to do or a brief hospital stay, honestly, my house was my entire world. And so I honestly felt like I was finally paying an appropriate amount of rent for the amount of time that I was actually at home. I used to joke that I spend very little time at home for as much rent as people have to pay in the world. So I was actually getting my money's worth out of my rent finally. And like I said, I was still able to communicate with people, and I had friends over on occasion, and really everything that I needed. And in 2022, I even started putting covers online of songs because I started to miss performing, which is something that I did um, a lot before COVID. And so I was still able to, put music and art out into the world. So everything was great. And honestly, I never intended for it to last for as long as it did, but the time went by pretty quickly. And then in 2024, I my roommates had left the house that we were in, and so I moved into a an apartment by myself, and that was a lot of fun, but it was a lot to keep up with, and honestly, it's it it's it is a lot to keep up with when you're by myself. And then left a I left my job in 2025, and then and I have a new one now that is still a remote job, because honestly, even if I become a sociable person again outside of my house or apartment, I can guarantee you that I never, ever, ever want to commute to work again, because that was a complete drag, and I hate driving. So there is definitely that. Well, due to some health issues and just needing a change of scenery, and really missing people that I knew back in Georgia. It's been almost a decade since I've been gone, so I have made the choice to move back there. And tomorrow I start that journey. I leave Colorado and I'm moving back to Georgia, and I'm excited for the new chapter, but I'm also incredibly nervous. A lot can change in a decade. Um, but also, like, on this trip, I'm going to have situations where I'm going to have to interact with people in the wild, because it's a 24-hour drive, and I'm, you know, going to have to use the bathroom or eat or something. And so it's going to be interesting to see how that goes, because yeah, I've not really experienced being around someone that I don't know in an area that isn't my house or apartment in 6 years. So stepping in back into society, it is a bit scary. The journey starts tomorrow, though, and I'd love for you to come along with me as I work to re enter society. Uh, Thank you all. Bye.